As you can imagine, this is a very difficult time, so you will understand if we're a bit emotional. First of all, I would like to say on behalf of the family, a huge thank you to everyone who has supported George and us through this traumatic time. In particular to Professor Williams and to Akil, who have become firm friends as well as medical advisors to George. To the rest of the medical staff, in particular from the ICU, who have offered the most overwhelming support, especially over the past 24 hours. Words cannot describe the lengths to which they have gone to make this easy for the family. Because of the fact he had been in intensive care for so long, I was prepared for his death. I was very strong throughout that entire period, probably stronger than anyone, possibly with the exception of my father, who's an amazing man anyway. I'm not saying that I found it easy, but I found a strength and it got me through it.
It was amazing to see it. It was, and it gave me a feeling. I was sad, but I was proud. I'd like to see him walking through that door. Well, I was fascinated by a ball, but instinctively he seemed to know that it was meant to kick. Whatever size, whatever colour, and even if it had been a rugby ball, he was still kicked it. And I took photographs of him using an old Kodak box camera, around about 15, 16 months of age he would have been. And he just seemed so natural in the photographs. He had the balance, concentration, head down over the ball.
The happiest memories that I have would be of the three of us all clowning about in the house, and George was always a bit of a character, and he was always so funny, and he was always up to mischief, and Carol and Tim used to fight all the time, and he was just a bit of a character. He was always a bit of a character with a great sense of humour.
But I never in my wildest dreams saw him turn out to be the star he was, because there's so many uncertainties in life that you can't guarantee anything. And a kid could show talent and yet not pursue that talent, maybe take up a different career completely. So I just left it to him.
Basically, when George hit the headlines, our house was plagued pretty much constantly by the press. Everybody wanted a little piece of George Best. I mean, he was big news. He was the first sort of superstar footballer.
we have never ever as a family in any way went over the top about George. I mean, we never boasted about him. We didn't think that we were special. Because to me, George was he was born with a gift. And even when he became a name, that was one of the things I said to him. Now remember, you're just lucky. You were born with a gift. Keep your feet in the ground.
His fame, not saying that didn't mean anything to him, but it certainly didn't, in my opinion, change him as a person.
One of the things about him as regarded his football was, no matter how good he was, he wanted to get better. When the rest of the players left after training, he stayed behind. And he practiced taking corner kicks from the right wing with his left foot. Then he went to the left wing and he practiced taking corner kicks with his right foot. And his target was the centre of the crossbar. Now that's dedication. After they won the European Cup in '68, the team, they were all getting on a bit in years, and they started deteriorating a bit, and George wasn't happy with the situation. And then when they went into the second division, as it was known at that time, he was very unhappy about that, and he thought that the club weren't doing enough for them to get them back on their feet. He did the runner. He used to play against Chelsea, and funny, Chelsea came into George's life quite a lot, but he was to play against Chelsea, and he did a runner, and he rang me to tell me he was coming home.
During the time when George was drinking, I don't think he looked to anyone for moral support. He was his own man. He was an alcoholic. He couldn't help what he did. He tried other means of support, from a medical point of view, but certainly from an emotional point of view. He never certainly spoke to me about it, or he didn't look to me for any sort of support. I wish he had have, and I wish I could have given it, but however, it just wasn't his nature. My father, during George's last hours, just remained his dignified self. He sat on George's right-hand side. I sat on George's left-hand side with Callum. And he just sat there. Every now and again I would look at him. I didn't look at Dad because, it would have set me off. He was watching his son really in the last hours of his life, and, he spoke to him the odd occasion.
Well, obviously, as footballers go, I think no matter where the subject crops up, George will be remembered as one of the greats. And that's not me just saying that. That has been shown, proved in many ways. But I'd like him to be remembered as a down-to-earth bloke who didn't make a big deal of who he was and what he was. And another thing that I'm proud of about George is that he had nothing against people because of their class, colour or creed. He had no interest in politics or people's religions or beliefs. And that is one of the things that I'm very proud of him for as well.